Okay, so in 2001 this place opens in Barcelona, Spain, called 41 Grados, 41 degrees. And at the time, I don't know about it, and then a couple of years go by and I hear about it and people say it's amazing, but I don't really trust people because they always say things are amazing if they went there during vacation. Apparently the sushi place downstairs from them in whatever city in the world is always the best possible sushi out there, they say. And I'm like, what other sushi places did you try? They don't know, they just really liked it because they were on vacation and all. So I don't really give a shit about 41 degrees in Barcelona, Spain. Then I read up on it a little, and it turns out that it's Ferran and Albert Adrià who started it. Adrià as in the guy who created the three-Michelin-starred restaurant El Bulli, just outside of Barcelona. And now all of a sudden, things are getting really interesting. This guy has a tapas kind of bar in Barcelona. I have to go there, of course. So I book a table, and the seating starts at 7 o'clock. One thing you realize when going in there is that this is an experience, as they call it themselves on their website. It's an experience of not just food, but the food in combination with sounds and smells and light. So it's kind of a theatrical thing where you eat while you're surrounded by these sounds and moving pictures of trees and various backdrops. It could have been only bells and whistles, but it's not. It actually is an amazing experience, mostly because the food is really, really good. You really notice that there is inspiration here from El Bulli that unfortunately closed down. If you've ever been to a fine dining place, as some people call it. You know those places you sit down on a seating, you sit there for 2.5, 3 hours, you drink wine, you eat a 10-course dinner. Now think of that, but multiply the amount of dishes by 4. I mean, it's 40 dishes at least here. I was thinking maybe 41 because of the name, but it turns out the name doesn't really refer to heat, as in Fahrenheit and Celsius, nor the amount of dishes. It has something to do with the coordinates of where this place is located, if I recall it correctly. Anyway, you have these dishes, and they come in really fast. They're like 1-bite dishes, 1 or 2 bites. They come in, you eat them, it's all amazing, and they take them out, they come in with something new, and it's just amazing, and it just keeps coming in all the time, and everything is just really, really cool. Imagine if you had a plate with something that you really love, but every bite you take from it is different from the bite before, so you never get tired. So I'm in front of this black sesame ball, looking like a pearl, and a piece of watermelon infused with red beet juice, yuzu, and licorice, yuzu as in the alcohol. And they give you instructions like, eat the little pearl that is right here first, and then eat this little piece of melon here that is infused with yuzu and licorice. So you do as they tell you, and I don't really have anything negative to say here, but if I have to, it would be that some of the dishes are a little complicated to eat. And I don't mean that they're hard to understand, it's just that they're hard to remember in which order to eat them, because sometimes they would come in with something, and it looks like this forest on your table with trees and sand and whatnot. And they would say, okay, you start with this little thing here that is laying on the leaf. Then you take this leaf and you put it in your mouth and you take off the jelly that surrounds the leaf, but don't eat the leaf. And then you take this little thing hanging from this mini tree here and you eat that as a whole. And then you take this straw here, you put it into the flower that you see right here. Don't eat the flower, just put it into the flower and suck out the nectar like a little colibri. And all this was really, really good. And I did it in the right order, but it was a little too much to think about. Other dishes were a lot simpler. They would just come in, they would say, eat this in one whole bite, and it was all amazing. Like this aubergine chip topped with hazelnut cream, caviar and spicy sesame olive oil. These are not combinations they just happened to put there. They're carefully selected, paired and balanced, and they're absolutely amazing. Now this is what I'm talking about. I'm supposed to eat the Bloody Mary sorbet on top of the celery, but I'm instructed not to eat the celery itself. That is just there for decoration. I sound like a snob here, but it is really an experience. And some of the dishes were said to be classics from El Bulli. I wouldn't really know because I never got a table at El Bulli. before they, well, closed down. But this, for example, the puffed bread surrounded by cured cow meat, and the desserts, many of the methods used to create these dishes, such as making a powder out of an infusion, were invented by Mr. Adrià at El Bulli. So at least I got to try some of the things that I hope tasted somewhat the same as at El Bulli. And it was really fun to eat. Some of the dishes were looked like one thing, but they were something completely different. And that could just be a funny thing, of course, but they were really, really tasty. For example, this is a smoked horse mackerel served with stracciatella cheese on top. Really good, like a sashimi kind of thing. And this cherry here isn't really a cherry. It looks like a cherry, but it is umeboshi, which is like a Japanese pickled prune kind of thing that they've shaped here as a cherry. So there's no stone in it. You just put it in your mouth and you just eat it. These are crayfish and fried chicken skin. Absolutely amazing. 41 Degrees is no more. They've closed down. You can go to the place next door called Tickets, which is created by the same people. It's supposed to be amazing. I haven't been there myself though. That's strange. I'm making a review of a place that doesn't exist anymore, but you know what? I want to tell the world about the good places, no matter if they're from the past or still out there for you to try.